It's now 20 to 3 and the entries have just dropped for the first day of Glorious Goodwood next Tuesday. Lewis Porteous, who we saw earlier on dealing with briefings, is looking after them both for the newspaper, Lewis, and the web. And obviously the web will come first, so what are you doing now?
The web's got to take priority. We want a quick snap, just giving the users of the website the general entries, the big names that catch the eye. It's just generally for someone logging on just to get a general overview of the first day. And then I'll take that story, I'll add to it and give it a more rounded version. I mean, for example, Harbinger takes my eye in the Gordon Stakes, one-time Derby possible, so I can maybe give Harry Herbert a call, someone like that, and I'll build on the story with quotes for the paper the next day.
But for now, the key is getting the core ingredients across the website in a, short 3, 4, 5 part story?
Yeah, 4 parts is fine. It's got to be quick, really. We want to get it before our competitors is the most important thing. So basically I've got to get cracking on that story now.
Start tapping.
I will do. Thanks.
It's 3:20. The first edition of the paper has to be sent by 8 o'clock. So now with the clock ticking down, Andy Scutts is joined by Andy Dietz from the web desk and senior sub John Hopkins for the mid-afternoon meeting at which the teams get together to discuss the progress of the news copy flow. Well, many members of the Racing Post team are serious multitaskers. One of those is Ed Quigley. Ed, a regular star of RPTV, but Ed, what have you been doing today?
Well, apart from writing news in long shots, I've been producing the Bath card and Leopardstown card, amongst many things, for tomorrow's paper. Basically in the morning we start off with a few statistics and a few calculations as guesstimates of how the page is going to lay out, regards to everything that needs to go on it, incorporating different adverts and all those different requirements. And then it's up to us, the production boys, to put it all together on page and scheme everything on depending on how much size and scope we have to do it. Bath, for example, 7 pages worth of Bath, and we'll start from there and draw it up on screen.
So we're getting on towards 5 o'clock then, deadlines getting closer and closer, people getting more stressed and more frantic. Time to revisit our friend Andy Scuttsy on the sub-desk. Scuttsy, sandwich eaten. Any late stories breaking?
Yeah, quite an important one. Front page has undergone a change of direction with the news that the Levy Board deal 2010 has been agreed. Much to the chagrin of the BHA and the ROA, nonetheless agreed. The prize money is going to be down 7% in 2010 and heads of expenditure cut by 5%, much acrimony, etc. So that's the main latest story. There is another one on the Arena, having agreed a media rights deal with SIS, which again our industry editor assures me is of the highest importance.
Yeah.
Although,
he says that about all the stories.
That it can get. So we've just gone through a sort of revision of lengths of stories and what goes where. We're still happily squeezing most things in. There's a couple of things that are being left out.
And what will happen to those stories that get left out?
Well, we'll try again tomorrow. The only thing is one of them related to 3-year-olds in the King George, so obviously with declarations tomorrow, that sort of becomes, it'll undergo a change of direction as well, because obviously we'll know how many 3-year-olds are running, so we'll slightly have to tinker with the quotes that we've got. But the vox pop of trainers can still run, so it won't be lost, but as often happens, we'll just need a slight tweak.
I'll tell you what, you've picked a good day to come. It's 5:03 and a Dickie Bird tells them we have a late breaking news story. With that story is our favourite news editor, Mr. Andrew Scutts. What's the story?
Yes, we've just had Brian Moore's on Conway in the King George, so we can break that on racingpost.com. Sort of the news that we were trying to get over the last few days, and Sir Michael Stout's just told our Newmarket correspondent Tony Elves which horse he will be riding, so we'll activate that on the website immediately. Obviously it's a good story for tomorrow's paper too.
So you now tell these guys, do you?
That is correct, yeah. News like that we pass on to the internet team straight away so they can get a snap snap up quickly with just the bare facts of the story. So, yeah, Joe, Ryan Moore's on Convoy.
Okay.
So we can get that up straight away. Been confirmed by the trainer. Yeah.
Okay, and whose byline should we give it to?
Tony else, please. Mick Kinane on the other one.
Okay.
So the guys are doing it for the web now, Scutsy, and does that mean the front page changes again?
We'll discuss that. If there's room for 2 stories on the front, possibly that might make it.
Yep.
If it was Tartan Bearer, it would obviously be a bit more significant because we'd have market moves and what have you then as well. Because it's conduit, possibly it might make the front. Maybe it doesn't have to, but it's still a good one to break as well.
Good story to break. As you say, the key now is for these guys to get it online, hopefully before anybody else, with Head of News, Tony Smurthwaite, cracking the whip to make sure it actually gets done in that way.
Indeed, yes. Obviously each story is timeline, so the sooner we get it up there, the better. But I've no thought that the PA would beat us to this one, as Tony else has just spoken to Stout, so we should be ahead of
Fantastic. So Joe now is doing that story. Joe, how long will this take you, without me interrupting you, to actually get it on the website?
It will take probably just 2 or 3 minutes, basically.
Crack on.
And then we always do like a more to follow line on Snap. So
We don't want to stop you.
Yeah, so we'll get that up now. And this will obviously change the lead on the website.
Yeah. So you've just got like a one-line snap just to get the information
exactly,
across
get the
straight away.
across, and then we do a more to follow, and then we obviously fill it in as we go.
This is live news as we speak. Headlines in.
Yep, so basically just checking all the headline and everything's okay, and then hit publish.
And how long will that take now, Joe, from you pressing publish?
It should just take about a minute or so to update, so we just have to wait for it to go through.
And this process is called?
It's called caching.
Right, okay.
Technical term.
And is it now just going to be refreshing the page again and again and again for it to? It's now.
There you go.
So at 5:06, 5:07, Ryan Moore writes Conduit the King George first on racingpost.com.
Absolutely, and then my colleague Andy's basically going to do a swash, because obviously it's big news, so to get it up there, he's doing that at the moment.